Guardians of the Galaxy, spoiler warning. So it starts off with Star-Lord seeing his running away from being scared, of course, because his mother had, I'm going to assume, some type of cancer.
Very likely some type of cancer.
So she assumedly, she passes away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess that she doesn't pass away.
I'm going to guess she does pass away.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to guess she definitely passed away.
So, so he runs away, he runs aside, and then this ship comes down and picks him up. And guys are like, why him?
Yeah, that is really obscure.
But we find out that it was his... Okay, we find out he's half
human, half something unknown.
Yeah.
The species is generally unknown.
Mm-hmm. So, or they call it Terran. He's half Terran and half something else. So his father was something else, and his mother was human. And his father was the one that hired these Ravagers to go get him.
Do I have to say one of my favorite things about the Ravagers? The voice of the Ravager computer was Rob Zombie.
Yeah, but you didn't know.
I knew that after the credits told me.
Oh my goodness! And
I was super excited when I read that in the credits. I was like, I want to watch it again for this. Literally, I would have, the second I had the computer, I would have been like, done, happy, let's go. And then I probably would continue watching the movie.
After you make a scene.
People are like, why is this guy clapping?
Rob Zombie! Rob Zombie!
Just see him sinking down in his seat embarrassed. He's like, man, I can't go to the movies anymore.
Okay, spoiler warnings. Yeah, spoilers. So, of course, free spoilers. Let's just talk. What did you think of Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck. This was an after the credits moment. Howard the Duck is, probably the most obscure character. He has no powers. He's just a duck from another dimension that gets sent to our dimensions. He's just a talking duck.
It makes sense that he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Because it was obscure, and they're like, well, let's make an even more obscure little reference. If you ever watched, is one of the bigger flops Marvel ever did movie-wise. It was a Howard the Duck movie.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was like sort of like a puppet, like a Muppet sort of thing.
Remember there's this big thing about...
And I loved it.
Never mind. So,
it was just so obscure and so weird, and I was like, this is awesome. And then when I saw him in the credits, I was like, this is perfect. Another thing I really loved is the dog. They referenced like the first dog sent into space. Mm-hmm. It was an awesome little, because obviously this movie is largely about space, but they referenced like actual moments in human history, which is pretty awesome, subtly.
Which includes Kevin Bacon.
There was a huge joke involving Kevin Bacon, and I loved it.
It is a lot.
It was a lot.
It is great.
There's another degree to Bacon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's apparently dead.
I mistook him for Patrick Swayze. They're very different humans.
Yes.
And I really loved X-Men First Class too. You think I wouldn't have done that?
Yeah, I was like, well, it's different universes. And you're like, yeah, because Footloose wasn't in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which is true. Footloose was, well, actually, it was mentioned.
You were trying to be smart. I was like, well, but he was in X-Men, Days of Future Past.
And I was like, shucks.
That was Patrick Swayze. So, with, so Drax's family was killed by Ronan, who's a bad guy, an extension from Thanos. Yeah. So you see Thanos talk, you see him get angry.
He looks very different, because I like how, they focused it more on... He looked like he had a giant head with headgear and a tiny body at the end of Avengers. I don't know, this is just a subtle little stupid thing. I like that they made him look more...
body.
You could see his shoulder when he turned, and it looked his head looked big in comparison. I liked the subtle tweak of making him look ginormous.
The subtle tweak.
The subtle tweak of making him ginormous, and taking the hat off. And I didn't like the hat was weird for me.
Didn't he have a hat on?
No, I don't think he did. I swear I saw the top of his head.
Yeah, because it's like something like this.
That's called a widow's peak.
Didn't he have a widow's peak hat? A widow's peak helmet?
Just showing off his hairline?
Because he was all in gold.
Yeah, he was all in gold.
Including his hat.
Isn't this blocky okay?
Okay. So, Michael Rook, the blue guy, with the sort of like stone mohawk.
Oh, yeah.
I sort of forgot he was in this movie. And he did pretty good. Do you know...
I don't remember who did he play?
He played the blue guy with the stone mohawk.
Ah.
He played the guy that collects those things.
Oh!
Michael Rook. Michael Rook. Forget the name.
His weapon is super cool. But
Yeah.
what if you can't whistle?
Well, he can. That's all that matters. So, with the story-wise... Oh, I didn't... We forgot to mention this in the spoiler-free one. Gamora's half-sister. Or Gamora's adopted sister. Or...
Well, they're all kind of adopted.
Gamora's adopted.
And so is her sister.
Is she? She's not a direct descendant?
She's a robotish, isn't she?
From what I heard, what I gathered was she was a descendant, but
She was doing tech stuff with
but
her
manipulated.
limbs. Yeah, well, so Gamora was manipulated as well.
So was Rocket Raccoon, but Gamora was a half, or not a full child of his,
Okay.
unless it's like a Shao Kahn idea.
Where she's taken over the land and took
Yeah.
one as a child.
Yeah. Anyway, I really enjoyed her as a villain,
Yeah.
the blue chick.
She just flew off though, so obviously she's gonna have to be a big part, right? As she was falling. This is the spoiler one, correct?
Yep.
As she was falling, she just perfectly landed on a guy's ship and threw the guy out, and it was like, I swear he had the Star Wars scream as he like was flown out.
Wilhelm.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Wilhelm.
The Wilhelm scream, yeah. As the guy was
Star
flown out.
Wars.
The Star Wars scream, like that.
It didn't start in Star Wars.
Yeah, but it's what it's really famous for. It's largely being in Star Wars.
It's really famous for being in a lot of westerns.
You're in a lot of westerns,
Thank you. Feeling lucky? Okay, so that wasn't a western.
bub.
That's not in anything.
That's in
So-
X-Men. Wolverine always says bub.
Yeah, that's fine. So with you want to look here.
No, I'm looking over there.
No, look here.
Because you get more white on my eyes, and it looks awesome. Got
So-
pretty eyes.
What did you think of the hammy ending? When they're all holding hands.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Care Bear stare, man. Like, jeez. Well, that was... It was okay, I guess, but...
I mean, obviously they referenced the trying to hold hands because how is he going to connect with the person? Like a Vulcan mind meld?
Well, it goes back to the beginning of the film where when the mother, before she dies, she asks for
The hand.
Peter Quill's hand, her son's hand, and then
Yeah.
he pieces out.
And also they do talk about, with the Infinity Stone, some of the other groups of people trying to use it, and they were all holding hands during in a circle.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And they tried
yeah.
to do that, but they couldn't. And obviously something about Peter's genetics
Is some-
somehow let him do it.
is
Or
some-
last longer while holding it initially.
It was something with, they got the most powerful people, and they couldn't contain all of them. All 6 of them, right?
Yeah. Wait, no,
Yeah.
I thought it was just one stone, was it not? Was it all 6?
I think it was all 6.
Well, obviously then they're not going to contain it.
They're the most powerful.
They're not Howard the duck.
Who's just a duck.
Or Blade.
Who's just a duck. So with,
Blade is just a duck. Played by Wesley Snipes.
Blade, the half vampire, half duck.
I'd watch it.
Full Wesley. So with,
He's 200% something.
yeah, so basically at the end, they
Care Bear stare.
they take, so Ronan backstabbed Thanos as they call him, and he took the Infinity Stone and fused it with himself and his weapon.
More so his weapon because it was overtaking his body.
Yeah, I guess. And so what happened was the Guardians,
Which made him vulnerable to like being hit by a ship or something.
the Guardians of the Galaxy ended up grabbing it, and they couldn't, so they all held hands, or
4 of them did.
4 of them did, because Groot was gone. They all held hands, and then essentially Care Bear stared.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of the movie entirely. When Groot started growing back and he was in the plant just grooving to some Jackson 5 there. And then you just got like Drax over there just sharpening his knife, just uncomfortably looking over. And every time he does, like little baby Groot there just stops. And then he looks away, he's just back, just jamming out to the Jackson 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's super good.
Yeah. What did you think of...
I do think Groot is a little OP though. Hashtag Nerf Groot.
With, no, because Groot was getting taken down by Gamora in the beginning.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he's getting
He was
chopped
super
down to
sad about
size.
those arms he lost.
Chopped down to size.
Yeah.
Get it?
I was on an
I
armrest.
didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
That was my support as I'm leaning into the frame.
He got chopped down. Anyway, it was. I don't think he was OP. I think he sort of came off as dumb to begin with.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end, he sort of like started utilizing his abilities more, which are endless apparently.
His stuff used for comedic stuff was amazing. Grabbing the battery in the jail. Literally, Rocket is just sitting there. He's like, all right, we need to wait for a subtle time because we don't want to get caught. He walks in the middle of like free jail time, and everyone's sitting in the main area. Just walks over and grabs it. And right as he's doing it, Rocket's like, it's got to be the last thing we do.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, so with Drax, you're talking about over the head.
Oh yeah.
So I guess with Drax is
It's literalism.
yeah, with his race, they're all literal. So, Overlord, Star-Lord used a lot of jokes and stuff, being satirical, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of back and forth between those two.
Or some metaphors also he used a lot of.
Yeah, and
All of it was lost on Drax.
yeah, it's just so funny with Drax.
Which surprisingly is where Dave Bautista's perfect comedic timing somehow came in.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, he was like, you gotta work it! Don't tell me this, Vince!
No, we're talking about Dave, not you, okay?
I've had some awkward moments with Mr. McMahon, apparently. I'm his favorite daughter, I'll have you know.
Yeah, with, same here. With,
Stephanie is annoying. No, I'm just kidding, she's cool. Not my favorite women's champion ever.
who is?
Dave Bautista.
Women's champion, Dave Bautista. I guess just Batista.
Yeah, no, they never called him Dave really in there.
They did when they're in suits.
Yeah, in Evolution. This is obscure, we should get back to...
Yeah, back to the spoilers. So Ronan essentially imploded via Care Bear stare. Groot died and came back. Thanos looked pretty sweet.
But I just wanted... How did Rocket know which twig to grab? There was a large amount of twigs out there.
I'm sure he sifted through them all.
And was like, this twig looks promising.
I saw a twig moving when Dave Bautista was petting... When Drax was petting Raccoon. Rocket.
It's late.
Yeah, I saw a twig moving.
Oh, okay. Was it the one he was holding? Because he had already picked up the twig by then, and he was crying.
I don't know, I forget. There's a twig moving, and then Rocket picked up a twig.
Yeah.
And then, I think maybe because he planted it, but if you planted a lot of them, there'd be lots of Groots.
That would be really cool. Just OP. Like, this is like an army of Groots. They would have had to cast two Vin Diesels. So.
Ents. Lord of the Rings. Anyway.
Those are old Groots.
Okay, one plot hole. Did you catch any plot holes?
What was the one you caught?
So, when Ronan is attacking Nova 6? Nova? What was the city called? Xander? Xander, right? X.
Probably.
Andar. This guy doesn't remember. When
I was so drunk.
When Ronan was attacking Xander, Rocket was displayed a message to Star-Lord. He said, hey, they evacuated the city. But when the giant ship that Ronan came in and landed, there were people everywhere.
They were actually having to protect the city because people were getting random parts thrown at them.
Yeah, it's like, it's okay, they evacuated the city. Okay. I think they did that after, though. When they shot everything down.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like they evacuated the city and then the thing came down.
Yeah, right when he landed, there was a group of people that walked up.
They
weren't like mayors or like police officers. They weren't like people that were like emergency people that had to be there. They were just civilians.
Yeah, there's like random civilian.
There's a woman
kid.
with a child. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a random yellow woman that's bald.
Yeah. I don't know what her place was in the society.
She went like this.
She did contribute a decent amount.
Anyway, yeah, so, like, I didn't want to tell you during, because there was, like, drama going on then. Okay,
there was a guy that stood up during the movie.
Oh,
right at the climax.
People were yelling and be like, sit down!
And he's like, I have to use the bathroom. He never came back, you know.
That's fine. He's probably still there today.
It's still the same day we watched it.
Still there, as you viewers see this video. When, one thing, did you like Rocket Raccoon's mini backstory? When they were all drunk?
They kept tearing them apart and putting them back together. Yeah, it was a little tough. No, it didn't get me as bad as certain scenes of Spider-Man, but
Oh, Spider-Man got you.
I cried. But
Oh, excuse me.
he makes weird crying noises.
That was a burp.
You don't have to cry about it.
I'm respectful.
And you breathe your burp out.
I breathe it out this way.
Okay.
If I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it, but if I breathe towards you,
Yeah.
you'd be like, I taste more popcorn.
Which isn't a problem to me. I really like popcorn.
It was a problem to me. I'd feel bad
You probably should.
if I made you taste more
Okay.
popcorn. Popcorn.
Yeah, that would.
I didn't have a lot of popcorn, actually.
I did.
I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe I was full. That might explain.
From all the pop you drank in about 2.3 seconds.
I just had supper, and then I headed out.
Oh, okay.
I headed out to pick you up.
Yeah, I did too.
It was a really good film, though. It was a very strong entry into the Marvel series, into the Phase 3. So it's the beginning of Phase 3. We're not even done Phase 2 yet.
Phase 2, yes.
We're in
We
the
haven't even got
middle.
into the Age of Ultron yet.
We're in the middle of Phase 2. Well, how many more films?
Not too many.
Wasp? Ant-Man?
Ant-Man's no, it's filming, right? And it's not even filming yet. They're still having like a whole roulette of cast coming in and out.
Edgar
and director,
Wright was
yeah.
the one that was supposed to direct it.
Yeah, and he's out now. They got a new director in, right? So I mean, and then there was some cast changes and stuff too. So yeah, that's and I mean, obviously they've already started shooting the Age of Ultron. There's already screenshots from it.
So I guess next is Age of Ultron.
It would appear so.
Because they already did Thor 2. Well, you see some characters from Thor 2
Yeah.
in the film, in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's weird, because you didn't see the Tesseract.
No, you didn't.
So the collector's shop gets blown up, and you would assume everything escapes, except for the dog and Howard the Duck.
That duck is resilient.
Well, he's just sitting there enjoying a martini.
Yeah.
He reminded me of, like, an old, like, secret agent.
And I gotta say, I really love that the collector was cast as Javier Bardem. That's an Oscar-winning actor. Like, he's an amazing actor, and he was cast as a really obscure role in an obscure Marvel movie. I loved it.
Javier Bardem?
Was it not Javier Bardem? It was Benicio del Toro, wasn't it? It was Benicio del Toro.
What are you doing?
Covering everything. Please cut that.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a long, long night.
Javier Bardem.
A long night.
I would have noticed. It was Javier Bardem.
I worked today.
I worked today too. Javier Bardem.
I worked with my manager. Just me and him.
That's fine.
It was a long day.
You didn't work a long day.
It felt long. You didn't work a long day.
Yes, I did.
Well, not all of your days are long.
Today was.
Oh.
We're talking about today.
Yeah, we are.
We're not talking about tomorrow.
Are we?
You don't work tomorrow.
No, I have tomorrow off.
There you go. Javier Bardem.
Benicio del Toro. Still awesome casting.
Yeah.
The movie was cast all the way through. I was surprised. I'm always surprised. He's a really good actor, but John C. Reilly, it always surprises me every time he pulls out a role like this. Like, just like where he's perfectly casted for a role, because I always just assume him as like Will Ferrell's little sidekick.
Well, like he voiced Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly. Yeah, it is nice to see John C. Reilly. It's refreshing to see that, like, all these actors aren't afraid to be in comic book movies.
Yeah.
So, like, take Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Who is his mother? Or take The Amazing Spider-Man. Who is his mom?
You mean his aunt?
His aunt, sorry. Who is his aunt and uncle? You had Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
And, like, these are award-winning actors and actresses, and they're playing second fiddle to Andrew Garfield.
And Emma Stone.
And Emma Stone, like, that was Andrew Garfield's one of his first big roles.
There was another Oscar winner in there, you know.
Willem Dafoe. Anyway.
Jamie Foxx.
I know, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm talking about the first one specifically. But yeah, but still, like, there's all these Emmy or...
Willem Dafoe wasn't in the first Amazing Spider-Man.
I was joking. Yeah, you leave, please. Anyway.
I don't know where we are.
To see all of these... It's okay. to see all. We just have a green screen back there. To see all of these ginormous actors with their acting chops, playing second fiddle to particularly young actors and actresses.
Yeah. I mean, ones that are really on the rise, like Zoe Saldana has really been in a lot lately. Really, she's been up on the rise, and then, actors that are already, really well established.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's so weird. Like, and that all started with, you gotta give it to Batman. It all started with Christopher Nolan.
Oh, having big name actors play second fiddle.
Yeah.
I was just like, Batman.
Like Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman. And,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And whatever. If you like DC or Marvel more, you have to give it to Warner Brothers and Batman and Christopher Nolan for really bringing these films to the limelight. And then Marvel taking that one step further.
Oh yeah,
with the shared universes.
I'm really interested to see how they're going to connect stuff like this and Doctor Strange and Ant-Man into like the third wave, like bigger things.
In the Phase 3.
I really want to know how they're going to connect. Like, I mean, obviously Hank Pym, Ant-Man, I mean, that's an easy one to connect. Even Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange and Hank Pym are really ones that because they are, head scientists, that they worked a lot with Tony Stark in the comics. That's something that's a really easy thing to transition in. Guardians, not so easy to transition in.
Well, I think it's all going to follow. So I think maybe Guardians of the Galaxy 2 might lead into Marvel or Avengers 3 still. So
a lot of setup.
so chronologically, I'm going to assume at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they end up at Earth.
Yeah.
They end up on Earth. So, or maybe they, halfway through the film, they start on Earth, and then it deals with Star-Lord's father and stuff like that.
Even though his father's not on Earth.
Well, his mom, distress beacon, she made it out alive.
She did. Her heart stopped.
Well, that's fine.
No, it's not fine. That woman's dead. It's a sad moment.
You can start up. Yeah, it was a sad beginning.
Took a real cue from Up there.
Yeah.
Being a super comedic movie with a heavy...
Although
heavy
it was only it wasn't long, the intro.
Same with Up.
Up hit everyone a lot more. Emotionally.
Yeah, well... Oh, yeah.
You can't beat Up.
This didn't... Well, because you had to see the relationship build up and then broken down. You didn't really get to see the relationship with him and his mother build up. So the fact that she's literally dying, like within the first 30 seconds you're watching her die, it's like you don't have the same emotional connection. You're like, I just sat down with my popcorn. I barely sipped my beverage.
I think it helps with Up that it takes place right after she dies.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is a
large gap. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting really obscure here.
Yeah, we are. I think it's time to call it
a video. You got a video.
Is really a good film. I recommend you watch it. Even if you're not a Marvel fan.
Yeah, even if you're not a Marvel fan, which is what we did talk about earlier, that if they could bridge the gap between non-Marvel fans, not comic book fans, they did well, and I think they did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Well, just next time we'll probably talk about TMNT.
I'm excited for that one.
Kim September. TMNT. Actually, real quick, let's talk about the previews.
Oh, okay.
What previews were there? There was the Big Six, or the Hero 6.
Yeah, which looked pretty funny. I don't have enough knowledge about it yet.
That one's an obscure comic too, from Disney and Marvel.
Disney and Marvel
collaboration. Yep.
It wasn't no. There's no Peggy in there. Why am I thinking Peggy? Trailers at work really messed me up today.
Oh, because you see trailers all day.
All day. I'm working in a video game store. I watch trailers all day, so literally random things just pop into my head.
So there's the Big Six, and the screen here. You're right in the center. No one will see that. What else was there? I'm completely blanking out.
I'm too. I remember the Big Six, and then
it felt like it just went right into the film. Because it was like, please put on your glasses. Here's the beginning to every film that they do in those cinemas. The Big Six, 1998 or 1988.
98. Yeah. So, and how many years later was it? So is he
26.
26 years later?
Yeah.
So is he in his 30s? Well into his 30s then?
Yeah.
Because we could assume he looked like he was 10 or 12. So we could assume 26 years later, he is almost 40. He's now just finding love? He's
Wow.
almost middle-aged. Poor guy.
I'm sure they have a lot of technology in the future to sustain.
26 years in the future from 1988.
They're in space. They're in space.
Yeah, they are in space. So are we. Earth is in space.
They're more in space. They have flying ships. We don't
We have flying ships, they just don't fly very far.
There you go. The moment we have flying ships, the moment when I can get into my ship and fly to work, I live where I work. The moment
I'm not impressed.
The moment
you literally can fall out of bed and
the
you're at
moment
work.
when I can whistle a pin
Magical
needle
stick
and go through 1,000 men
and a ship.
is the
I thought it was wood. It went through a ship.
things are spitting on me. Is the
That
moment
taste.
delicious? Is the moment I'm sure we can live longer and sustain life easier.
Second you can fly to work is when we're going to sustain life longer.
There was a woman whose face got crushed, her arm got bent, and she just put herself.
Yeah, but you saw her doing like robotics on her. Obviously she was some sort of cyborg.
You don't see that today.
I know I don't see that today. Oh, I did see it today.
It's in the future.
In theaters now.
It's in the future and in space. You have to assume they have better technology.
Obviously. Except for Dave Bautista. He can't afford a shirt.
This is a world.
He actually, there was a scene where he was
Yeah,
choosing
there's-
between shirts. He was just like, nope. Story of my life, I would not wear a shirt if I never had to.
There was.
I would scare people with
There's
my
a man
pasty
that
furry
turns
body.
into a giant green monster. In this lore. Hulk,
Oh.
I'm talking
Oh.
about.
I was like, I was
it's
saying,
Dr. Banner. You know, Hulk's the guy that goes angry. He's like, "Grr, I'm angry." He turns into this giant raging monster.
Wonder Woman?
You've probably heard of her.
Okay, I thought you meant in that particular movie, but yeah. Sean Paul.
I'd love to see like Hulk and Groot.
There was actually the first thing exposure I ever had to Guardians of the Galaxy. There was an Avengers cartoon, and it was about 2008. And Guardians of the Galaxy was an episode where they came and they had to fight a force together, and they were actually like, yeah, we're pretty much the Avengers of space.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time I'd heard of Groot and Rocket, but I didn't know any of the other ones, and that was my first exposure to them. Was this cartoon, and it was really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a really good film. Check it out.
If you actually look at it, Pratt looks exactly like Star-Lord. It was
Really?
perfect.
Really?
Literally,
Oh, wow.
he looks more like him than Rocket looks like Rocket.
Yeah, it's really good though. I love the scene when Rocky gets his gun in the jail. It's so awesome.
When Dave, when
Throws
Drax
it.
throws it to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so awesome. I can't wait to see more wrestling, more wrestlers.
I think with wrestlers, it's a hit miss. You have to cast them right for the role.
So like, I can't wait to see The Rock as a Jedi.
Now, Rock as Hercules, I think is probably going to be one of his best cast roles.
Dibs here, not Dibs. I'm calling it here first. The Rock is going to be in Star Wars.
You mean Jane Watson?
See you. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Shut your face hole.